Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now this is the second part of the series of the Get Ready With Me. So now we are going to go ahead and talk about concealer. I already applied my Kat Von D foundation inside shade Deep 74. And also I applied my primer, which is the Pore Professionals, and then also the Sephora primer. Now if you guys just decide to stop at my foundation routine, then make sure that you set your foundation with a powder. I use this mineralized skin finish from MAC. And this, I believe, is, I want to say $30. And this is in shade Deep Dark. And this will give you like a slight coverage over your foundation as well, and it will set it for all day. So yeah, there you go. But now we're gonna go ahead and do concealer. So I'll show you guys what I'm gonna go ahead and start off with. And that is my all-time favorite right now concealer for underneath eyes is the Smashbox BB Cream Concealer. And to see a more detailed review on this, I'll link below the review that I did on this already, just in case you guys have any more questions about the consistency and how it applies and how it lasts. So I'm just wetting my beauty blender again so I can go ahead and start the video. So I'm just going to go ahead and twist up some product and start applying. So I kind of just do it like in a little kind of triangle thing underneath my eyes. Take my beauty blender again. Yes, it's dirty. I've been using it a lot. So I'm going to stick the Vice palette again, just look into it. But yes, this is, I'm just going to go ahead and just tap it into my skin. Just kind of just spreading it. And this is in shade Dark. I like this because it brightens up underneath my eyes, but it doesn't look like a crazy highlight. Like if I wanted to do something more dramatic, I would use a lighter color. But generally, I just like to keep it a little more natural, just bright enough to make me look wide awake and conceal like any dark circles and everything. And then I'm just going to go ahead and roll this underneath my eye too, just to deeply set it inside there. Just want to just keep rolling. Okay, so yep, that's how I do my concealer. Now the next step that I do, what you see now underneath my eyes are very bright and wide awake, but to even make that even brighter, I'm going to use my Prep and Prime highlighting pen. And this is in Peach Luster. I got this from MAC too. And this is, I want to say this is $30 too. So it's also a twist up, and this stuff is like amazing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and add on the highlighting to this video because I highlight with this pen too. And I'll just add in the contour inside a later one, because I do that a little bit later. So I kind of just do it in a triangle again. I put some on my chin, then the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and then a little bit on what I guess is kind of like my Cupid's bow. I don't really have one, but I put it there anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take the beauty blender again. I'm going to moisturize it like a little bit more, or wet it a little bit more. And a little wet. Then I'm just gonna start underneath my eye and just start tapping it. And as you see, like, this stuff is amazing. These luster pins come inside a couple other shades. I can't remember every shade, but I know Bright Forecast is really good for lighter skin tones. Peach Luster is really good for NW45s, etc., etc. If you're close to my skin tone, Peach Luster would be amazing for you. So it just gives you that natural highlighted look, as well as it's also an orange color, so that's a nice color corrector. I wouldn't just use it as a color corrector by itself. I would use it over a concealer just to give like extra correction and coverage to it, and then also just as a brightener. And as you see, like, how perfect underneath my eyes looks now, it just looks so nice and bright and just flawless. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and blend that out on my chin. And when I like to highlight my chin and on the bridge of my nose, and is where like my cupid's bow would be, is because these are the parts where people will look at on your face the most. And it's really nice to draw the eye to certain areas on your face as such, like underneath your eyes, to your eyes, and on your forehead. And it just looks beautiful like when the light hits it as well. And then on the bridge of your nose, you like to highlight your nose, especially if you're going to go ahead and contour, because it just gives a slimmer effect. My nose really isn't big, but I still like to do it anyway. It just looks really good. Like, I hate it when I go without this Peach Luster pen. This thing is just amazing. Yeah, but that is, I almost thought I wasn't recording. I was about to go a little crazy. But, yep, that's how I do that step. And that's like one of my biggest, I want to say makeup secrets, but I think it's amazing how you do it and do that. Next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is set my concealer. And I use the banana powder from Benai. I got this small one for $10. I want to say it's from Makeup Alley. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take like a little sponge like this, a little disposable sponge. I do reuse these, so that's why it's a little dirty. And I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to set underneath my eye. And I like to just put like a little bit of powder on my hand so I can just easily dip into it. So you see, I'm just gonna pat that. You don't want too much powder underneath your eye because you don't want it to start looking cakey, but you want enough where it will set. I say as long as you can see it fairly well, then that's good. And you want to set like all your highlighting, so it'll be there all day. And then the banana powder is also like another highlighter. It helps intensify and brighten. This is beautiful. I just love banana powder. So yeah, I went on and did that. Okay, and like you can go ahead and do your eyes and stuff. Like generally, if I haven't done like my eyes or my mascara, I would go ahead and do that, where I let this set on my face for a little bit, or I'll go ahead and start doing blush maybe, or like start contouring or whatever. But sometimes I just let it sit on there and I'll just go do a couple other things, and then I just come back with a big fluffy brush. And yeah, you don't have to let it sit on there long. You can just let it set for like a couple minutes, if even that, maybe like 30 seconds. And then you just take a brush and then you just brush away. And you see how you saw that beautiful highlighted look? Please excuse like all my tools because they are dirty. I need to get a better habit of washing them. And I also have like this little brush right here as well that I just like to just go under just a little bit more, just to make sure I got like all that powder out my under eye area. And yeah, that is basically it. So make sure that you do set your face. Actually, let me just go ahead and do that right now, because I like to set this before I start, you know, contouring, etc., etc. Just go ahead and set my foundation. So I just rub it into my skin finish powder and I just go over the areas. And I would not go underneath my eyes because that's the area I want to stand out the most of my highlighter. But with like the areas I did on my forehead and on my nose, I still go over it with the skin finish powder, just to give it an extra set. But not too much, because you don't want to just go over it and then it's be pointless of how you did the banana powder. But yeah, now that's it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have another one coming up with the contouring and the blush and the lips. So keep tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to this. And stay tuned. Bye.